Hi guys, so this video of Narco, there's going to be a little bit in there that I might well end up having a few complaints from people, so I'm hoping that I won't, because I hope you all bear with me and see that actually what we're doing isn't anything wrong. It's something that we've got to kind of work through, and he's absolutely fine. But yeah, I know, oh God, it's really hard because I want to show you certain things, but I'm also very aware of the fact that, people could be like, oh my God, look, what are you doing? So I'll tell you a little bit. So we had a moment of a lame session with Narco, which is the reason why he came to us in the beginning, because he'd had kind of lameness issues. Now, if you've seen the previous videos, you'll see that there are little snippets of him being lame along the way as we worked him. But on this particular occasion, it was quite impressive. Yeah, it looked like his legs had been tied together. Now, as I said, he's been a very, very complex little case from the word go. And everything we've done with him, we've allowed him time to process, and we've kind of gone, okay, look, we're going to work with you for what you've got. And this is exactly what we've done in the video that you'll see. So we start off with his owner coming to ride him, and it's the first time that she's come and ridden him back with us, and it's lovely to see her back on board. Now, whether or not that sparks something in his little brain, who knows? I can't read them that well. I do try, but I can't read them that well. But it's interesting to see what happens afterwards. And then again, it's interesting to see where that moves to after that. So bear with me, please, please, please keep an open mind, and at all times be completely aware that Narco was absolutely fine. We wouldn't have pushed him if we thought that he was in any pain or there was anything really serious wrong with him. We wouldn't do that to the horses. We don't do that. But it's quite an interesting video, and possibly something that people will relate to. But yeah, obviously, we kind of know what we're doing with these horses. So obviously, if you have a horse that is moving the way Narco does in this video, get some help. As I say, it's about finding the right help. So had we kind of gone with kind of, well, had we called a vet out to Narco on the day with him moving like that, we would have opened up a whole can of worms again that had already been opened and had got nowhere. So yeah, just keep an open mind. I just wanted to kind of pre-warn that, yeah, it's a bit different, shall we say. I'm not quite sure how to describe him. He's a bit special, but please bear with me, okay? Right, so this is Narco's owner's first time sitting on him since he's been with us for his retraining. And it's so important that owners come and they ride the horses while they're with us, because we can retrain the horses as much as they want us to, but unless they come and ride them when they're here, we can't make sure they're a partnership. And that's why it is important that even if it's just a few times, a couple of times, whatever you can do. So you'll see here, Narco's kind of gone, hang on, I'm not quite sure here. I'm really not quite sure. I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm just not, I'm struggling a little bit here. So we can see that a bit of anxiety has popped straight back into him. And it's not uncommon because, as I say, it's about now producing the horse and the rider together. So we've kind of got to work with them both. Now we know that Narco can do everything now. We know that he's fine. We know the buttons to press and we know how he needs to be ridden. So what we've now got to do is help his owner understand his needs and get that as them both working together. So we kind of had a little walk round, allowed them both to relax and chill out and just spoke through a few things. And now what a difference. What a difference there, because he's gone, okay, actually I've got this, we're all right. And it is hard for them, they've been through a lot together, these two. So it is really hard. Like I say, it's not going to be perfect straight away. These are small baby steps now that we've got to do with them both. But doesn't he look good trotting along there? You know, he's really starting to relax a little bit more with her. They're both starting to relax. He's dropping his head down. He's going, look, Mum, I've got this. This is what I can do. I know what I'm doing now. And he's actually flicking his toes along really, really nicely there. Now, Ellie sat on him first just to make sure that, you know, the owner could see how everything was going, because although we've done videos, it's always nice to see how your horse is working before you get on and feel that confidence. But what's happening now is we've changed the rein, and for whatever reason, another little switch in Narco's little head has gone, oh, can't do this. Nope, can't possibly change the rein. Now, again, this is really, really hard, because what we've got to do is, we know that Narco's fine and he can trot across and change the rein, but he's suddenly going, oh no, nope, nope. You can see the anxiety taking over, which isn't great for him and it isn't great for his owner, because we don't need him to feel like this. We've been working so hard on it not happening. So what we have to do is kind of have a little stop, walk along, relax, everyone just chill, and just have a little discussion about what we've been doing to kind of change things a little bit for him. So when Narco doesn't like something, he kind of does this crabby movement. And that's how he kind of, it's like, no, can't possibly do anything. And he crabs along, which isn't really going to be very comfortable for him at all and very good. So what we're asking his owner to do now is, because Narco's trying to throw his head to the outside, we're saying, right, position your body to the inside. Because what we want him to do is to start following the shape of her body, where it is, the angle of her body is looking to the inside, rather than him trying to look to the outside. Now, if she's looking to the inside, it's going to start encouraging him to go that way as well. So that's what we're doing. So you'll see she's kind of looking into the middle of the school a little bit more, shoulder just a little bit back. And there, he's actually trotting round the edge so much better. And it's just those little things that we're changing. And that means he's feeling a lot better. You'll have to excuse my hands all over the place. But it's not a bad little trot now at all. Considering a minute ago, going across the arena, we went across there sideways and he looked absolutely, you know, he didn't look great at all. He was like, no, can't quite do this. But now again, he's relaxed. He's looking so much better, just asking him to kind of drop his head down a little bit. And it's, there we go. It's just all work in progress. And as I say, it's little baby steps that we need to do with these guys now. And it's took a little while with Narco, but I'm really happy with where, you know, we've got him to and the stage we've got him to, and for them to be able to trot a circle like that now is brilliant. So it's, you know, big pats, relief, and finish like that for the day. Really pleased with the first day ridden for them. So this is the bit of video I said might cause a little bit of controversy here. So as you can see, we have a very, very lame Narco, who looks like, I mean, well, what can we say? There's like every single part of his body and leg just seems to be doing something extremely strange. I mean, to be fair, I have no idea what he's doing. We walked down to the school and he walked down absolutely fine. He came into the school and he started walking fine. And then we went to go into trot, and pretty much straight away, that's what we had, is what you've seen. So, yes, I have said to Ellie, look, I need you to carry on a little bit here, because I'm completely confused as to what is going on with this horse. Because he walked down as sound as a pound. I mean, absolutely fine. And I mean, you can see there again, but look at the tension in him. Absolutely, just kind of through that neck, he's so tight, and his legs are just tied together there. I mean, you know, I can't work out whether it's front, behind, upside down, or backwards, forwards, whatever the hell's going on with him. So yes, we've carried on a little bit. Now, we've had some horses before that have shown anxiety, which Narco did at the very beginning, and you know, we've had kind of lame steps and a bit of lameness issues and things like that. And I've also had horses that have come off the track that have been as if their legs are tied together. So I've seen quite a lot. I mean, Narco's quite the extreme here. So, you know, we've had the walk trot and now we're cantering. Now, for me, a horse that was in severe pain is not going to, and I mean this absolutely is not going to have allowed us to just kind of carry on walk, trot and cantering with him. He would have put up some severe resistance somewhere, but he's just not really. I mean, he's not going very forward with it all, but that's because his body actually won't let him. And that's why we've just gone, right, let's just see what we can do. So, you know, Ellie's had a canter. We're just trying to loosen him up. She's having a little stretch there. And from start to finish, hopefully you can see that we have got better. We haven't got worse. So that's why, again, we've carried on a little bit. So we changed the rein and had a little canter on the other rein. And again, look, the head shake, he's like, but then he drops. No, it's bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre. And this is why he's baffled quite a lot of people in the past. I mean, when I showed the video to his owner, she did say, well, that is very extreme. Now, the only thing I can put it down to is the fact that when she came and rode him, some little trigger went into his head and he was like, oh, I'm just not sure. He come back into the school expecting anxiety. So, I mean, I haven't talked you through much, but I don't really know what to talk you through. I mean, what you see is what we've had there, and it's really quite interesting. But as you can see now, he's walking out, not too bad. He got better the more we did with him. So I've asked Ellie just to walk him round for a little bit. And then what I've done is asked her if we can just go into trot again, and just see how he looks afterwards. Because when we go back into trot, if it was something really, really severe and serious, he'd be completely crippled lame again. But look, he's tight. He's very, very tight and he's not right. But he's also so much better than what we started with. So there we go. So, yeah, my theory, not really sure. But we worked through and hopefully, you know, he's finished off all right, quite happy and relaxed and very chilled and a lot more de-stressed than when he started. So we've given him a little trot up here. We've done some hacking after the schooling session to take him out of the school and take him out of that situation. And then this is actually my first time riding Narco. Ellie was away on holiday and it was a good time for me to actually go, right, let's see what we've got. And this is the first time he's been ridden back in the school since that lameness episode. So what did we do? Well, we had the farrier have a look at him, check to see if there was any abscess or anything like that, because he was so crippled the way he was moving. We thought maybe abscess. Nothing. Couldn't find anything. No reaction in the feet, nothing. So we just hacked him out for a few times. And then I rode him in the school. And I was really pleasant. I mean, you'll see straight away, as soon as I've started trotting, there's no tension. I've got the mares looking over the field at him. And he's stretching out quite nicely. Now, I would have expected him to kind of react a little bit more, having a different rider on his back and things like that. He had a little trip, but there we go. That's Narco. He does like to trip a little bit. But no, absolutely nothing. And we have seriously had nothing done in between that. We didn't at all. We just hacked. It is a complete, in a way, unexplained lameness with him. Now, again, as I've said in the past about things with Narco, to me it is an anxiety thing, and for whatever reason that day when he went into the school, the anxiety just took over and he literally couldn't control himself. I mean, we've changed the rein there. There's absolutely no signs of anything. I've got him on a really loose rein, still got the mares following him around the field, and he's working perfectly for me, absolutely perfectly. I'm just sat there just cruising along with him, and you know, he's stretching out quite nicely, he's moving really well. You know, it's quite a regular rhythm with him there. I can't fault him at all. But then, you know, what we had that day was just crazy, absolutely crazy. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of stick for the fact that, you know, we carried on and we worked him through it a little bit, because, yeah, maybe we shouldn't. But actually, if we hadn't have done, maybe he would have been the same the next time we brought him in. And the next time, who knows? I don't know. I honestly believe that we did the right thing anyway. And I mean, look, here we are. We've got a fabulous little horse back again with us. And he certainly wasn't in any pain that day. Straight into canter, really, really sweetly. Oh, there we go. He still takes a little bit of holding together. And also, my first ride on him, I'm trying to figure out again what buttons to push. It's all very well when I'm on the ground saying, right, do this, do that. But, you know, when you are on board, you get that different feeling, which is why it's so important when owners come and ride. So I'm just allowing him, I'm out the saddle a little bit and just allowing him to move as much as he wants underneath me. I mean, look at that. Doesn't he look good? Relaxed, chilled, got a lovely little outline, just carrying himself along nicely. The dog's hooning up and down the fence, the mares were around the fence. And there is no anxiety there whatsoever. I'm getting absolutely no feeling of anything. I'm really, really pleased. But equally as well, I'm like, why on earth did we get that such strange day with him? So I make a lot of fuss of him, which is what we always do with them. You know, I want to make sure that he knows that I'm really, really pleased with him. So I'm just kind of there. I was just niggling a little bit, just readjusting, trying to get a little bit of bend before I came across the school, just setting him up so he knew what was coming. And again, just as we go around the corner there, I'll just guide him around with my body. And perfect. I honestly cannot fault the little guy. Little pat and just go, you know, I'm absolutely fine with all of this. You're doing really well. There's no pressure on him to carry himself. You know, if the head comes up a little bit, I'm saying that's fine. Let's just sit straight into canter. Beautiful little transition. I've kind of just held him together a little bit. Again, slightly off the saddle. And then as we get going, I will sit a little bit more into him and say, right, come on, we can do this. But he's so relaxed. But yeah, that day we couldn't get anything out of him to start with. I mean, it really was bizarre. There's Lola chasing me down the side of the school because obviously she just loves doing that and winding them all up. But not a reaction from him at all. He's the most chilled, sweetest little thing. So as I said, am I pleased that we carried on with him? Well, yes, because, you know, I don't know where we'd be if we hadn't. Little trip, bless him, he doesn't concentrate that well. But like I say, you know, I do apologise if people say, well, you know, you shouldn't have done that. But I made a decision and it didn't put Narco any harm because here he is moving beautifully. So we haven't damaged the horse in any way. Mentally, he's in a brilliant place now. Did we do the right thing? Yes, I think we did. And sometimes I think you have to kind of work them through this little bit of anxiety. Such a fine line though. And I think we did. We got it right. We did get it right. Hey, so we've got Narco's owner back to ride him. He'd gone so well with me, you know, it was like, yep, come back, let's have a sit on him and let's get, you know, see where we're at. So what we're doing here is we're just trying to now get her used to how we need to ride him. So we want to get that feeling of confidence between them both, and this is such important stage that we need to do. So it's a case of kind of relearning certain things with them because we've changed a lot with him, and you know, we kind of know again that he has these moments, like he's having a little bit of a moment there and he's like, oh, no, I'm not too sure. And what we're trying to do is say, actually, no, come on, Narco, you can deal with this. It's absolutely fine, sweetie. And that's all it is. It's a confidence thing with him. And that's what he's doing. He's kind of shaking his head and going, oh, I'm not too sure. Now, you know, she's not holding him tightly at all. He's got a nice long rein there. All he's got to do is just figure out how to carry himself with her, and just, you know, we've just got to get that bond together for them. So there, we're just opening up the hands, keeping them really low, really nice, wide, and just allowing him to have some movement. And when he's doing that head shaking and throwing his head up, we're not reacting to him. Now, I think this is the important thing with Narco. If we don't react to him, he seems to improve. So what we've done is we've just asked them to have a little stand there and then allow him to walk forward, because we kind of just want to be able to take little situations away and say, no, look, we can do this. Not a problem. We just stand for a minute and then we go back on. Now, I'm not big into transitions with the horses when we're at these early stages with them. I like everything to flow. Start, stop, transitions all the time, I think completely messes with their heads, also completely messes with their body. But sometimes it's important just for us as a rider to go, actually, I've got you there. Because what Narco used to do was he'd kind of just run away with her and he'd just be like, nope, that's it, I'm just going. And he'd be a bit dead to the hand. So for confidence, for both of them, I wanted them to be able to just kind of relax, have a little stand, move away in their own terms. And you can see actually after doing that, he's relaxed the head a little bit more. You know, he's carrying himself quite nicely there. And again, from that video a couple of days ago compared to where we are now, I mean, it's crazy, absolutely crazy to see where we are. So off we go into a trot, and you can see the head carriage is still a little bit wobbly and a little bit, but all I've said is, okay, just ignore him. Allow him to find his own comfort with you. And this is the thing, all you can do is just sit there nice and light, open up the hands and let him find where he feels most comfortable. And that's what he's doing, you know, he's just figuring it all out. And we don't want to interfere with them, because at the end of the day, the more we interfere with these horses, the harder things are for them. It is us as jockeys that bugger things up, you know, it is completely. And we all know that, but we don't like to admit it. You'll see then, as they change the rein, he turned quite nicely into it, and then he starts again, just cocking his head to the side. So what's happened is Narco actually brought himself back to walk there. And again, just give him a little praise and go, okay. And it's quite sweet to see, because he's thinking, and he was like, can't quite get this. So instead of ploughing through it all and getting himself more anxious, he kind of brought himself down to walk, which is great. You know, we've gone, okay, not a problem, we can deal with this. Allow him to have a little bit of a walk. We again ask him to drop the head back down. We start thinking about that bend on the right rein and just saying, it's fine. Everything is chill, because this is what we need to do with Narco. If we let the anxiety levels escalate, we'll probably get back into a situation of where we were the other day, which we don't want. We don't ever want that to happen again. Here we go, into trot, and it's just a case of saying, okay, here, I'm fine. I'm just here supporting you. And what a little sweetie. They look really, really good together. And it's so nice to see that they're learning together again. And this is the important thing. Again, as I said, you know, we can't just make these horses go really well. We've got to teach and educate riders how to ride their horses. And they're so different. And, you know, it can all be great in the beginning, but little things kind of can start to go wrong. And that's where we come in to try and help. Doesn't he look good? Don't they look so smart together? You know, he's really starting to kind of go, okay, yeah, I've got this. And it's so nice to see that partnership coming back together again. And you know, as I said, it's all small baby steps for them just to get it working. And when I did ask, I said, can I have some, you know, can I use these videos? And it was like, yeah, of course. Oh, show, you know, we want to show the good bits. And these to me are all the good bits, because this is part of training. You know, this is so, so important for where we are. And I think it's lovely to sit and watch and see an owner and their horse coming together like these two are. Back down to walk, make loads of fuss of him. What a good boy. So proud, so pleased.